Deep in the boreal forests of Canada, the fabled car enthusiasts appear to be having a row. If only there was something to distract them. Alas, another rover of the land captures their intrigue. It's the new Defender. And yet, nothing about it is familiar. Strange shapes adorn the sides, and to them, its design seems pedestrian. Some things will always be familiar. And boys will be boys. But perhaps this Defender doesn't seem to possess something that they would be interested in fighting over. Not unless it can demonstrate real off-road capabilities. Oh, what's that? Air suspension? Oh no.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the 2020 Land Rover Defender. The question of where the Defender fits in the Land Rover lineup used to be answered simply by saying, oh, it's over there, in a field doing truck things. But now it's not so simple. This new Defender shares a lot of its guts with the Discovery in the Range Rover, and while it has serious off-road chops, it accomplishes the same types of tasks the other cars do, but with a little less luxury. So while the old Defender had an obvious singular purpose, now it's not immediately clear why this new one is there. So right away, if you already have a Discovery or a Velar, it looks like you might not need a new Defender as well, but as you'll see in a minute, you might just want one.
And a huge thanks to our friends at Land Rover Toronto Grand Touring Automobiles for bringing out this 2020 Defender for us to test, a vehicle that at their dealership finds itself in rather good company. Let's do this. And if you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing about. So subscribe and hit the bell.
So before we get into whether or not this is a real Defender and all that, let's just assess this vehicle as a vehicle on the road.
There's a couple of different engine options you can get. This is the P400 option. The P300, which is the base, is a 4-cylinder, and it's likely all you need. This is a 395 horsepower straight 6 that's very assisted.
It's everything charged, supercharged, turbocharged, electrically charged. The whole point is that in this top trim level, this is more than the torque and power you ever need in a big SUV.
So beyond the incredibly smooth power, which is incredibly buttery smooth by the way, there's a 48-volt mild hybrid system, like the 53 engine in the Mercedes vehicles and the one we found in the A8 and S8. And I think the 48-volt mild hybrid is one of the coolest modern integrations for any luxury car or car period, because it's just smooth. It's that lubricant that smooths out what would have been an aggressive stop-start, and it creates an engine response that has no business being this smooth.
Smooth is kind of the key word here, because it's not just the engine that's smooth, it's the entire car.
Gone away is the solid axle, and now we have independent suspension all around, and with that comes comfort. Add to that the air suspension, and you end up having something that Land Rover has turned into quite a wafty experience with some truck-like motions. I don't know if it ever needed that, because there's a lot of pitch and roll. Pitch and roll, not pinch. Not the technique you use to scratch your man bits, just pitch and roll. It's a heavy bastard, but the steering is very light. Very electrically assisted. But unlike a G-Class, which arguably has kept its roots, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, you can actually turn at speed in this and not fear for your life. So there's some value to going to the unibody design.
But don't panic. If you're an off-road or Defender enthusiast, don't turn it off just yet, because this has some very impressive off-roading numbers. James is going to go over all that stuff in a second, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a different drive mode. I have a lot of options. I've got Eco, Normal, Grass, Gravel, Snow, Mud Ruts, Sand, Rock Crawl, and Wade. Wait, not like the guy Wade, just like wading through the water. And since this is a brand new early production model, we can't really show you what it could do off-road. It's very capable, but we can create some dangerous scenarios. All right, here we go. It's about to get real. Oh yeah, that's like waist-deep water. That's nuts.
This is gonna look good. No, don't film me yet!
Oh yeah, there it is. Handled it like a champ. Oh, we have another obstacle here. Oh, it's a good thing I've got amazing approach angles. Oh, look at this. Unreal. Unreal. This does have adjustable air suspension, and it has a low-range gearbox and locking differentials. So it has all of the necessary kit to be a real off-road vehicle. With all the tech and the luxuries that James and I just talked about, and speaking of which, this has the most powerful cooled seats I've had on a car, I think, ever. They're amazing. It really is a luxurious vehicle first.
Okay, so Land Rover have obviously gone to great lengths to make this an incredibly livable vehicle, and for that they've massively succeeded. But does that betray the Defender nameplate? And if it does, how important is that? Because if Hyundai brought out an Elantra that wasn't as perfectly average as the perfectly average Elantra that came before it, no one would flood to Twitter and start saying hashtag not my Elantra. But the Defender is an icon. Thankfully, this is not just a badge exercise. In fact, it has a higher ground clearance than previous Defenders, so you can wade deeper into the water as you ford through rivers, deeper even than a Wrangler Rubicon. And it can take 45 degrees of lean without falling over, which is about this much. And it has the same breakover angle as previous Defenders, so if you go over a big hump, you won't get beached. And it's a lot more rigid than those as well. So yeah, it's got all the modern luxury stuff, but it's still a serious off-roader.
But is it? Because this is an old Land Rover Defender. I guess we can call it the classic Defender now. And it differs in one main area. You see, the new Defender is a unibody chassis. That means it's kind of all one piece. But one of these has a ladder frame chassis and solid axles front and back. That means it's incredibly durable, and you can put big lift kits on them and cross the desert, or treat them like the farm truck they were meant to be. That does mean that it's compromised in the driving department, though. I'm not sure you'd want to drive one of these every day, to be perfectly blunt. Oh man, is it cool. It is impossible to understate the difference in these vehicles. Oh yeah, there's no power. That's okay. Don't really need it because we're having fun. Oh yeah. That right there, you see that back and forth motion that's happening to me? That's the solid axles and the ladder frame chassis. That's what that is. Put it this way, neither James or I are hardcore Land Rover Defender enthusiasts, but we sympathize with you who don't feel that the new one is a real Defender. Because this, double clutch into third, yeah. Because this is a different thing, completely. Oh, see, no, I accidentally went into fourth there. See, for those of you North Americans watching this, like me, the only way that I can describe this is if Jeep replaced the Wrangler with the Renegade. That's what this must feel like to people who have lived and breathed Defenders. So with that in mind, I understand your plight. I lament the loss of the classic Defender. But at the same time, honestly, for an everyday vehicle, the new one kind of has it beat.
I'm watching Thomas drive that old one, and he's got a massive smile planted on his face. And if I was in that one, I'd probably be shouting, "Who dares wins?" which is the Special Air Service motto for England. Very cool, guys. I don't even know the name of Canada's Special Forces unit. It's probably something like the Secret Beavers or something. And their motto is, "Sorry for one, sorry for all." But yeah, that would fit this vehicle better because it's so calm. This is the Canadian Defender. There you go. Powered by maple syrup and a 48-volt mild hybrid. Don't forget that because it's brilliant.
Oh, I see you're putting the ride height up.
Yeah, we're putting it up to off-road height.
Oh, that's really intense.
Is that done?
I think it's as high as it goes. It's pretty high. Yeah, fancy.
Well, I wanted it to be, you know.
your little jump on the way up.
I'm above average height.
Are you?
By half an inch. Now it is Defender height.
Yes.
Speaking of
yes.
which, where is the old one?
It rusted away.
It rusted away?
Yes.
All right.
This one's got at least a week, so we're fine.
No, it doesn't. This is a brilliant piece of engine. This is it's English pride and joy.
Let's just divert everyone's attention to this directly, this piece of... Well,
This
see,
is
in
just-
the old one, it was a piece of steel.
Yes.
This is
plastic,
That
but
is.
it's the best plastic money can buy.
fine English plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyone knows plastic is the new steel. You're not in the fashion world.
No, okay.
It's derelict. It works.
Yes. Okay. I do want to say, though, standing back,
Yeah.
my subjective opinion is that this is a really good-looking vehicle. I
It's
like
a great
it a
looking
lot.
car.
Yeah.
Lots of road presence. People were looking at us as we were driving over here.
It's because it's new, but yeah.
Maybe because it's new.
Yeah.
But it is a massive departure from the old Defender.
Both fundamentally and visually.
And like the G-Class. We put the new and old G-Class next to each other.
Yes.
And they look true to each other.
They're both trucks.
They're both trucks. They look similar. One has
Yeah.
LED lights on the front, but beyond
Yes.
that, you can't tell they're 20 years apart.
Yeah.
This is a huge jump away.
Well, yeah, actually, Mercedes was going to go to a unibody type of
Like, what,
vehicle.
10, 15 years ago?
Exactly.
They were just going to go to the GL. They were going to cancel the G-Class.
That's right, and then they grew a few, and they
Grew-
kept
yeah.
it a truck.
What do you mean they grew a few?
A few, like, I mean a couple. Like
Are you okay? What's going on down there?
Okay, whatever.
Triptych Thomas.
Shut up.
No wonder you walk at a weird gait.
It's fine. So I'm going to waddle my way over here because I have a question. What is this? What is this? This spec sheet that's stapled to the side
So
of
that's Land Rover's signature panel thing. It's a design thing.
Okay.
In this car, the 110, the big guy, it
Yeah.
makes sense because that's actually on the inside, that's the C-pillar.
Okay.
But on the 90, it's just plastered onto the window.
Oh, so it blocks the view of the glass.
Yeah, but in North America, I don't think they're giving us the 90 with that.
Okay.
But it's not just a design piece, it does have function.
It does,
the
actually,
equipment
okay.
packages you can hang over the roof, the ladder that goes on.
Oh, it protects the glass.
It's supposed to
I
protect
see.
the glass,
It does
yeah.
have a purpose.
And,
okay.
But they've done, they have, in defense of Land Rover, they've done some cool stuff at the back. It's retro.
I love the little tail lights in the zone with the badge and the thing. I think they did a really good job visually there.
But
As I
yes.
said, I like the look. I like the way
it looks good.
It looks
People,
good.
You know, the same way a Kia Soul looks good. People have said that this looks like a raised Kia Soul. It looks like a Ford Flex.
Yes, it actually looks like the the new Ford Bronco looks like this.
The new Bronco Sport, which is the
Right.
baby Bronco
Yes.
that Ford have marketed as. Is the Escape not exciting enough for you? Get the Bronco Sport, which is a bit of an FU to Land Rover because
bit.
this is like their serious vehicle.
This is the big one,
And
yes.
for Ford, it's like the baby, oh yeah, you cute.
Yeah.
But I still think it looks great.
Okay, I do want to look at the interiors because, like, I'll overlay a shot right now of the interior of the old Defender. I have a feeling, a hunch, this might be nicer on the inside.
Let's compromise as well.
Yeah. Would you like me to help you in, or shall I get you a box?
I'm the same height as you. All right, inside the 2020 Defender.
It's nice.
It is nice. This one is particularly spec towards comfort and road use.
Yes.
Like nothing going on the outside really. It has the 20-inch wheels, but those with the road
got the white
tires.
roof.
And the white roof, which is $870.
I do want to point out this massive sunroof, which is cool, but not nearly as cool as the port windows.
Port windows.
The port windows.
Yeah, they look
yes.
great.
Yeah. I like them a lot.
I think it's really nice in here. They've tried to go with a rugged look. They've gone with these exposed torque bolts.
Well, they call them rivets, don't they? They're not.
Rivets.
They're not. These are Torx bolts.
Torque bolts.
Yes. Anyway, so what they have done is they've tried to make it intentionally rugged, as you say. Like, there's like... This is a material that I'm not sure I've ever seen on a car before. It's like I thought it was a hard plastic, but it's like a cloth rubberized thing.
It's got like 10-year-old Alcantara vibes.
Yeah, that's what it, I like it though. It's up here too as well. It's a nice material. I don't really have any issues with the inside.
But they
of this
haven't
car at all.
gone super upmarket. Like these steering wheel, all these materials. Again, they've chosen rugged over comfort.
Yes.
I love the way this is here. I love the so
There's
many
a space behind this.
so many brands are doing the tablets on the top.
Perfectly
This is
integrated.
Perfectly integrated. And
Yep.
it even has this has got some extras. So this has got
Is this
this
is
has,
cool?
Yeah, this has the cooled package.
I am such a sucker for cooled beverage holders
It's
in
actually
cars.
really cool. Are you?
Actually, it's really
know what
cool.
I'm getting you for Christmas.
Yes.
Just the beverage holder.
I like having crisp cold drinks while I'm on road
That's
trips.
really refreshing, actually.
Yeah, it is. You okay?
It wasn't me. That was the. I hate cool boxes. Anyway, we have the 14-way seat. Incredibly comfortable. Tons of space.
I'm trying.
We got.
Focus.
Hold it together.
I'm trying my best. Okay, I like the gauge cluster. It's digital and clean, and I like that it looks like gauges. BMW.
They've emulated gauge as well.
Yes, and the back seats are kind of jump seat-like. Actually, it has the same type of like folding split seat that the 4Runner has.
Yeah, no, they're unbelievably comfortable.
Yeah.
But also with the exposed rivets.
Yes, the Torx bolts.
Why are you saying Torx bolts?
Because they're Torx bolts. Torx.
They don't belong to Torque. They're torque bolts.
No, not Torque, Torqueus. It's Torx. It's a Torx bolt.
I'm from the city. I don't know these things.
I will say, though, that there's grab handles everywhere. There's actually even one in here that's a bit hidden, but there isn't one here. I want there to be a grab handle when I'm getting in.
You want too much. You come to my farm and you mock my Defender.
Are you doing like a West Midlands accent?
No, not West. It's West Country.
West Country, I don't know.
It's like Hobbiton, like the Shire.
Like the Shire?
Or Hagrid.
Or Hagrid,
Who
yes.
has hairy feet. What if Hagrid was from the Shire and then Gandalf cursed him, made him giant, and now he has to go hang out with 11-year-olds all day?
It's cutting edge journalism you get here. Yeah.
Sorry. It's a real theory, though.
So, if you're a hardcore Defender enthusiast, here's the good news. They still exist, but just find them used. And yes, this one has none of their character, but it has exchanged that character for comfort and modern looks, without losing its off-road chops. The new Defender, then, is a way to have your cake and eat it, and somehow cheaper than most of the old used Defenders we've seen for sale. So if you were never a die-hard Defender of Defenders, it's a bit of a win.